Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Filecoin. So let's just dive in and let's start off with this video here. So this video goes in depth on why I think a lot of people just kind of overlook Filecoin. It really kind of gives us a breakdown of what's actually happening here behind the idea of, oh, it's just decentralized data. Because I think a lot of people look at Filecoin and that's all they see is decentralized data. But I want to give you guys a quick insight on just how different things are right now and what Filecoin as a team and as a project is slowly but surely becoming. So let's listen into this video and then we will address a lot more after we have a little bit of an understanding on what just Filecoin actually is.
Filecoin's mission is to create a decentralized, efficient, and robust foundation for humanity's information. We truly believe humanity's most valuable resource is information, and we're incredibly passionate about storing and protecting that valuable resource in an efficiently priced and distributed way. This really means addressing some of the major problems with today's storage infrastructure. Decentralizing the cloud away from a small number of centralized providers, giving users full control over their data, turning data storage pricing into an efficient market, allowing the network to set prices rather than a corporate pricing department. And lastly, making storage verifiable to ensure that when someone says they're storing your files, they actually are. What this means is that we move from a world where a small number of cloud companies control how your data is being stored and priced to a completely global open market where anyone can become a data storage provider. Filecoin also transforms the fundamental business case and cost structure to be a storage provider in today's economy. Filecoin allows storage providers to focus on the core business backend, a subset of the most valuable tasks that a storage provider can do, and offloads the business front end to the Filecoin network itself. So similar to the powerful service Airbnb's network provides for individual homeowners to allow them to compete with larger hotels like Marriott and Hilton, Filecoin takes a market with some dominant cloud storage providers today and allows all sorts of data storage providers to be able to compete effectively with the scale, reliability, and price efficiency of the larger players. It's really important to note that Filecoin is not just software. Filecoin is really a rapidly growing ecosystem of thousands of talented people working towards a common goal. And geographically, we're distributed all over the world. Together, let's be the ones to preserve humanity's information.
And again, this is why I've always said that Filecoin is so much bigger than just decentralized data. The ecosystem, the overall protocol, the network, everything, the marketplace is built out on Filecoin and built with Filecoin. It's an absolute game changer. And a lot of the partnerships are partnered with projects that we hold as well, like Hedera. It really is a revolution in its own. Now, let's take a look at a few things as well. So first off, we do see from Jimmy Lee, we do see, I'm glad Filecoin is so misunderstood as a network. A great alternative to Bitcoin for store of value, soon to have parity with Ethereum through FEVM/FEVM, which we will talk about. The largest decentralized storage network in the world, approaching 20 exabytes of capacity. Future looks cool. And we do see adoption means someone does something differently than they had previously, like using Filecoin through estuary tech or integrating the FEM. Taking the diffusion of innovation theory, it seems like we are about to cross into the early adopters population. How exciting. And here we basically are here, which, yeah, probably. I mean, this is going to be a game changer area. FVM is a massive opportunity. I think that this is probably one of the biggest game changers ever, and we're going to be jumping into it here in a second, but here you guys have it. So it's launching on March 14th, 2023. So in little over like 3 weeks from now. And we did see, did you hear the Filecoin FEM launch is closer than you think. After the completion of the calibration net upgrade earlier today, FEM is on track to bring smart contracts and user programmability to Filecoin. This is a big game changer. Now, we will take a look at a few things, but you see this question down here. How do you plan to deal with the exponential inflation for the token? Significant amounts of aka FIL, get burned due to network transaction fees or locked as collateral to secure the network and incentivize reliable storage as the network matures. The rate of token emissions is expected to taper. And yes, this is a big problem because as we look at today's Filecoin, sitting at about $7.80, we are hitting almost 400 million tokens. Now you might be thinking, Nick, 400 million tokens is not that bad. Well, It is considering the recent all-time high. The recent all-time high was about almost $200. At that time, which was back in March of 2021, so almost 2 years ago, Filecoin only had 61.5 million tokens. Meaning, at that market cap that it did have, which was $7.7 billion, which it was a little bit higher, granted. For an example, I don't know if we have the full-on. So here we have an $11.8 billion market cap. So at an $11.8 billion market cap with today's statistics, it would be about a $30 Filecoin. So a significant drop from almost $200. In fact, it's a $170 difference nearly. So yes, tokenomics do matter. So let's take a look real quick at the tokenomic differences. So here we get a lot of questions on the tokenomics of Filecoin. And here we have a full-on update around it as well as the utility aspect of the token. What we are mainly looking at, okay, is the burn ratio. The burn ratio and locking up of tokens, because these are two areas that could change the overall tokenomics of a project. For an example, if we scroll all the way down to the Filecoin token, this is where we get a little bit of an insight on the utility behind Filecoin. In fact, it serves a number of functions. One, pays for the messages on-chain, uses collateral, creating economic incentives for reliable data storage over time, and to secure the blockchain and subnets or shards once interplanetary consensus goes live, which we will talk about that as well. And then also 3, burn to regulate shared resources, aka block space. Now, with that, as we see a more heightened demand of Filecoin, we will see a lot more Filecoin burned in terms of the actual token. Here's the allocation right now. So as you guys do see, you can see the Filecoin Foundation, PLA team and contributors, Protocol Labs, fundraising SAFT 2017, storage mining allocation, and then the mining reserve. When we look down here, a maximum amount of 2 billion Filecoin will ever be created. Of this, 70% was allocated for storage and related services, i.e. minting tokens to reward storage providers. 20% vested over 6 years, starting October 2020. So October 2026 is when this will be fully out. That 20% was allocated to Protocol Labs and the Filecoin Foundation to support network development, adoption, and ecosystem growth. The remainder was allocated to SAFT investors, which began vesting in October 2020 over the time periods ranging between 6 months and 3 years. So this is going to be finished in October of this year. 2 billion File is the maximum amount that could theoretically be minted and vested. However, it may not be the amount of File that enters the network circulating supply. We have the 300 million File held as a mining reserve would require a protocol upgrade to be tapped, meaning the community determines how much, if any, of this should be released. The growth of the network requires utilization and consumption of the token, reducing available token supply as of September 2022, and 520 million File has been minted or vested. Of this, approximately 70% is in circulation, since significant amounts of File is burned, permanently removed from circulation due to the network transaction fees, or locked as collateral to secure the network and incentivize reliable storage. As the network matures, the rate of token emissions, vesting, and minting is expected and was designed to taper, since Filecoin has finite vesting schedules and a minting model in which emissions are indexed to network growth. And here we have the sources and sinks. So here we have the sources. These are the token inflows, and these are the token outflows. Mainly, you're going to be focused on locking and burning. And you do see, as of September 30th, 2022, 10% of the tokens in circulation have been burned. This is 6% of the tokens minted and vested. And here we have locking as well. They do mention down here that locked tokens were pretty much greater than 35% of the tokens in circulating supply, and 25%, greater than 25% of tokens minted and vested. And they will see continued network growth, which will also account for a lot more of it being locked as well as burned. And then here we have the vesting. They do talk about the vesting, like we said, around the SAFT holders, and then also the minting process around it as well. But there will only ever be 2 billion, and we do see 70% of the minting baseline minting is indexed to the network growth with a cap. It would take approximately 20 years for the maximum amount of Filecoin to be released, assuming the network hits ambitious storage capacity targets, a yottabyte worth of capacity by 2040. So with that, we won't ever see that 2 billion at least for 20 years, and that's questionable on if we ever will see it. And then here we have the minting, vesting, locking, and burning contribution to the net inflow or outflow of tokens. You can see that here. I will let you guys pause the video real quick if you guys do want to look at this. But then down here, I want to take a quick look at the FEM. So this is why FEM is a big deal for Filecoin. So the Filecoin virtual machine unlocks boundless possibilities ranging from programmable storage primitives to cross-chain interoperability bridges to data-centric decentralized autonomous organizations, aka DAOs, and layer 2 solutions. In short, this means smart contracts and user programmability are coming to Filecoin. Slated for release in H1 2023, which we know it is happening in March. This upgrade to the network should positively impact token holders since it may increase Filecoin's use cases and will likely impact the sinks component of the circulating supply equation, aka Filecoin locked and burnt. So this is going to be a big deal for the supply. And here we have FEM and sinks to the token supply. So if it is going to increase the demand for block space from smart contract capabilities, it will result in increased burnt Filecoin. This rate of token consumption is in the hands of the community as network participants compete for on-chain resources. Meaning, if this is very successful, we are going to see a big shift in locking and staking of Filecoin, especially around DeFi protocols. So this is going to be huge for Filecoin supply, meaning we could have a significant amount of price drive from this. Now, IPC, Interplanetary Consensus, we just talked about it, right? So this is going to horizontally scale the network or the chain with subnets. But also, we do see the amount of Filecoin burned while also decreasing gas fees for users due to scalability improvements coupled with FEM utilization, which, by the way, it may increase this. Amount of Filecoin locked or staked as collateral in order to secure subnets, and demand for file consumption with shards supporting customized on-chain use cases. So there's a lot happening here. There's a big game changer around this, and this is going to be happening on March 14th. With all of this, with everything that we have in mind around FEM, which it looks like this could be a big game changer as we already have a massive amount of participation within this. And you can see the overall stats right now. We have about 18.9 EIB in terms of network total storage power. We have about 3,700 plus almost 3,800 storage providers, 540 plus organizations building on the network, 2,955 plus new projects entering the ecosystem, and 13.1K contributors on GitHub. This is huge. So this is the FEM launch, March 14th. Like I said, this is going to allow for a lot of the use cases that are waiting on the sidelines to not only launch and utilize Filecoin, but we're going to see a lot of Filecoin being locked away, burnt, and utilized. Once we see this, I do think that we are going to see a significant increase in value. And if you want to go check out the Filecoin virtual machine, you guys are more than welcome to. There's a lot of examples around this. There's a ton of example use cases if you guys do want to go check it out. There's tutorials, there's specs, there's everything around this. You guys can go and check all of this out. I do think that this is a big game changer for Filecoin. I think that in the recent years, going back to 2021, we've seen a major increase in value for Filecoin. Right now, I'm going off of just the $11.8 billion market cap area, so $30. So if we can get $30 on Filecoin right now, that would be awesome. But it's only about a 3x away from our current price action. Now, one thing that I will say, we already outlined this price move on Filecoin. We were waiting for this price action up here to hit. The issue here is that I would not be buying up here. We are at significant resistance. So, wait for a pullback into this $6.50 range down to about like $6. This whole area down here is a big demand range. We could even see possibly, the top $5 area. So like $5.82, 83 cents, anywhere within this area is a perfect buy opportunity. I would not be buying up here. But what I'm looking at is anywhere between $44 to about $74. From our buy points down here, if we get these nice areas, this would be anywhere between like a 6.6x opportunity run to about like a almost 12x run. Now, do I think that we could still hit the all-time highs? 100%. But our all-time high, which was $236, the problem with that is, like I said, at $236, Filecoin would almost have a $100 billion market cap. Do I think that it deserves a $100 billion market cap? It's questionable. Will it achieve this market cap? Again, it's questionable. We have to make sure that as we focus on this, we have to keep in mind that we've seen a significant change in the supply since 2021's run. So today, the overall increase in value here could be a little bit different, meaning we could possibly not make a new all-time high until we see a significant amount of Filecoin burned. But this is just what I'm seeing here off of where we are kind of looking at the current price action. I'm going off of the candle wicks that we see on the screen, this whole wave that we're pretty much in. I could see this going much higher than my anticipated levels. If we go off of like the macro area and we actually look at like possible figures up here, like, do I think that's going to reach $1,000? No, but I do think that the next level of interest would be about $384 if we still had the same supply. But at $384, we have about a $150 billion Filecoin. So do I think that we're going to go there? Not really, but that's just me being, again, pretty conservative on this. I think that it could surprise a lot of people. I think that Filecoin is a great long-term hold. And I think that as we look at the network growth, I do think that it's going to see a significant price increase here soon. But we are at, like I said, significant resistance. So please be aware of that. I would not be buying into Filecoin just yet. Wait to see if we get this nice pullback. Then we'll kind of continue even higher to possibly like $17 plus. But like I said, focus on the launch of FVM because I think that this could be a significant price catalyst. Long term, no, we could hit $100. Listen, $100 is definitely achievable. I'm not going to lie. I think that $39.2 billion is not too bad of a valuation for Filecoin. Could we go back to $200? Sure, we can go back to $200. In fact, when we take a look at Dogecoin hitting $94 billion in market cap, could we go to $300 dollars? Could we go to $230, $250? Anywhere between those levels, it's a possibility. Anything can move in a significant way like this. It all depends on the catalyst behind it. It all depends on the significant amount of growth it has and all that kind of stuff, especially from the community. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. Other says up that you all have a beautiful day, beautiful night. If you guys are on this before, this has been Nick. Peace out, guys.